Let's welcome our next storyteller to the stage, Jelani Gunnell.
I'm only up here because I feel bad for Ben. I feel bad. All right, no, honestly, I did not prepare for this, and I'm up here because I'm a big fan of Finn, and I believe that if my friends are going to be successful, I got to put myself out there. So here's this. Think about a time where like your friend, like you have this fine ass friend, right? And you see them, and you're like, God damn, you're so sexy. Like her eyes, her lips, her dimples, her short hair, and you're like, And part of thinking about your friend, how fine she looks, you know, it's just that, like you just want to kiss them and like lick their lips. Right? Well, this story is not about that. It's not about that. Actually, I'm from New York City. Yes, it's definitely about something green towards the end of the story. I'm from New York, and one time I was about 16 and a half years old, and my friend lived in the projects. And if you don't know what the projects are, they're really big housing whatever buildings, and they're like 20 floors in New York. And we went to McDonald's because that's what we ate. And we went to his house, and it's me and like 4 of the kids. And I mean, we were just unruly kids. I mean, there was a homemade bong. It was like a soda bottle with water and like these like fishing poles. I mean, it was just weird. And I remember I laid my French fries on the dresser, and we're watching this movie, and so I'm eating my food, and I'm reaching for the French fries, and still reaching for the French fries, and all of a sudden I'm like, I can't find my French fries, and I swear that my box of fries has moved. So I'm like, Hector, can you turn on the lights? Like, what's going on? So he turns on the lights, and I kid you not, this massive stream of cockroaches are there. And literally they lifting up my French fries like, we're leaving! And I was just so disgusted. And I was just like, oh my God, I was just eating those fries. But back then my voice was like, oh my God, I was just eating those fries. I can't believe it. I'm not coming back here. And I had this really big accent back then. You know, that's before I went to college and moved away. And so that was my experience. You know, that was my life. You know, we lived in a concrete jungle. There was not a lot of greenery. I mean, if I looked outside the window and I walked a few blocks and went to a park, then I saw greenery. When I went away to college, man, it was, I was already in my 20s. It was probably like 21 or something. And the first time I saw a cow, I was beside myself. So talk about being green, I was green. I couldn't understand, like this was something real. And for many of you, maybe you lived on a farm. I was 23 when I went to a farm. 23 when I saw a cow and I fed it, and then it took a shit right in front of me, and I was like, I'm done. I am so done with this. Because see, what had happened was I lived 6 hours away, and my friend was like, oh, you should really come to my farm, it's gonna be great, it's Easter, you're gonna love it. And I'm like, oh fuck, alright, I'll check it out. And so I went. And she told me about these cows. I'm like, oh, Tamara, can I feed the cows? 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 Can I feed the cow? Can we feed them now? Can we feed them now? Can we feed the cow? What about now? What about now? What now? Yes, Yolanda, I'm gonna fucking feed the cows. And I said, okay. So her mom gives me this bag of potato skins. And I'm so excited. And I'm like, potato skins, they eat this? Girl, yeah, we compost. I'm like, what? You compost? Okay, so you feed this to cows. Okay, that's cool. Right? Save that thought for a moment. So I go, and she called them, wee, 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 and she whistles, and they all come running down. And I'm standing there, and I'm like, oh shit. Oh my God, they're coming towards me. And so they came, and the one cow looked at me with one eye, and I was like, hey, what's up, cow? And I'm like, yeah, look what I got for you. And so the cow started eating. And remember that time? It took a shit right in front of me, so I was done. So I left. I was like, I'm not feeding your cows anymore. You lied to me. You said they were cute. They weren't cute. So, compost. Compost is my story. I moved down to North Carolina a year ago. And so remember that time where I thought that compost means you put potatoes in a bag and you feed them to cows? So I'm looking at different houses through Craigslist. And so the fourth house that I went to, they're like, oh yeah, we're so natural here, and we really respect our space and whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, that's cool. Can I see the room? I see the room is dope. And for those who don't know what dope means, it means it's really nice. And I was like, wow, $450 a month, dibs. Means I want this. So I told them that. I was like, I got dibs on this room. No matter what happens, I want this. You let me know what I gotta do. I want to live here. So I'm getting to that compost story. I move in. And Molly goes, hey, so Yolani, you know, we compost. I'm like, where's you got cows out here? What you do with that? No. You're so funny, Yolani. I'm like, okay. For real, like, what do you mean? What do you mean compost? So she shows me this jar. And they got like stuff in it. And I'm like, what are you gonna do with this? And I'm trying to be really sensitive and culturally competent. It wasn't working. And so she's like, oh, so what we do is we compost, we take all the anything that's not greasy, if it's vegetables, we put and I'm still not understanding because it's garbage in a bucket. So I'm like, okay, so we have this garbage in a bucket and then you're gonna put it in a bag, right? No. She says, we're gonna take this bucket and we're gonna leave it inside the house until it's full. Wait a minute. So then she proceeds to tell me, Yolani, I'm gonna show you how to compost. I'm like, you just said just put it in the bucket, you take care of it. No, but we all share responsibilities in this house. Okay, she takes the bucket and she's like, come follow me, come follow me. And I'm scared because I'm like, oh shit, where are we going? And so she takes me and we're walking down the path and right by this tool shed, she has this like patch of dirt. And I'm like, okay, so what you gonna do now, Molly? Oh, I'm just gonna throw it in here and I'm gonna take the shovel and I'm gonna shovel it and I'm gonna put paper. And I said, wait. What about the cockroaches? What about the mice? There are rats out here. What are you doing? Oh no, Yolani, we're just fine. And I'm thinking, how are we fine? How are we fine? You put in food out here in the wilderness of our house. And she literally looked at me like I was insane, as I looked at her like she was insane. And so she showed me how to like dig, and I looked at her dig really. And then as she was teaching me the process of composting, she takes the pitchfork and she stabs herself in the foot. She takes it out. She's like, ouch. Literally, ouch. I said, oh shit, you just stabbed yourself in the foot. Are you okay? Oh yeah, I'll be fine. I should have worn my shoes. Man. So she walks to the house and she's like, can you please call Jeremy? Tell him I hurt my foot. And I'm like, wait a minute, we need to take you to the hospital. I'm gonna start the car. No, she didn't care about that. So he comes and he's like, what happened? And she tells him I stabbed my foot. He picks her up, takes her to the kitchen, takes out some salt and puts it in a bowl with water. Talk about just soak your foot. I said, she just dumped shit from a amount of stuff, called it compost, stabbed her foot with a pitchfork, And you're gonna tell me you're gonna soak it with salt and that's it? You don't wanna go to the hospital and get a tetanus shot? We're gonna be fine. And so that was my introduction to compost. You stab your foot, it's okay. You throw rotted food next to your house, it's okay. You got squirrels and rats and shit, it's okay. Well, we don't have our roaches, and surprisingly, we don't have ants, but it's okay. And that's my story.